What's the biggest sexual anticlimax you've had? In high school, my prom date shit on me during sex. I smelled it before I saw it. I stopped and said, "I think the cat farted." 2 seconds later, she looked down in horror and ran to the bathroom. She got poop on my parents' sofa and on the white carpet. I cleaned it up while she was in the bathroom, then gave her a ride home. I never saw her again. I wonder if she still thinks about it today. This was back in 2001, having sex with my high school girlfriend in my bed. My dad is downstairs in the basement of the house working on his computer. I'm about to orgasm and the intercom rings and my dad's voice comes on the intercom saying, "Could you come down and help me? My mouse isn't working." I think he did it on purpose to fuck with me, but I've never confronted him about it, losing my virginity. When I was a teenager it seemed so important to just get laid so I could say I had shagged someone. One weekend my mate's older brother drove us to their parents' caravan. We were 17, he was 20 and was meeting up with some girl he knew there, so me and my two mates had the caravan to ourselves. There were some girls staying in the next caravan and as we were smoking outside we got chatting and they invited us in. While we were chatting, the girls said they thought I was gay because I spoke with less of an accent than my mates. So I said, "I'm not gay, if you want me to prove it I'll shag any one of you." But it was more of a joke than an offer. 2 minutes later one of those came over and said, "Hey, Claire said she'll take you up on that offer of a shag. She said that I should go back to our caravan and wait for her." I didn't even know which one was Claire, but there I was, alone in a caravan waiting for Claire. Felt like forever. I even worried it was a prank to see how long I'd wait there. But then she knocked on the door. I invited her in, awkwardly, and told her I had made up the fold-out sofa bed for us where we started kissing. Awkwardly. She then stripped off, completely naked, and as I did, she started giving me a blowjob. I had to stop her because I was close to coming. Then we had sex. Awkwardly. I lasted about 40 seconds and she said, "Have you come?" And I said, "Yeah, have you?" And she rolled her eyes and said, "Guess so then." We got dressed in silence, walked back to their caravan in silence where my mates were praising me for getting laid, but I overheard her tell her mates, "Well, that was a waste of time." My fiancé organized a threesome with another girl, then just as I was balls deep in this other girl and asked why she wasn't getting into it, she announced she was on her period and wouldn't be able to do much. Then started crying. Went for a nice walk on Mt. Diablo in the San Francisco Bay Area. We had food and wine. The weather was warm and beautiful, and there was absolutely no one around. We walked off of the trail onto a sunny hillside where we were certain no one would see or pass us. We took our clothes off and did it on a blanket. It was actually really wonderful until I got behind her and a bunch of flies kept landing on her butthole. Then the whole thing turned out to be a good laugh for both of us. Something we joked about for a long time. I was having sex with my girlfriend at her parents' house while they were at work. We hadn't quite got to the climax per se, but we were naked on the bed. Boom! Her mom comes through the door, obviously sad, sees us, and walks to her room and starts crying. Turns out her grandpa had just died and her mom came home to break the news. I could only just leave. First night hooking up my now GF, we were fooling around, and she was making noises. We started going at it pretty good, and she's making louder noises. Well, her dog wasn't too thrilled and bust in the room. I was on top of her, and the dog bit my ass. We decided to get frisky and I decided to give him a sneaky BJ whilst we were hiking in the mountains. Except he came. And then his legs buckled and he fell over. And because we were on a bit of a slope, he slid down it a few meters, with his pants around his ankles. Arse-cheek gravel rash from new relationship. Wilderness BJ is a story that we have never shared before this day. Even worse, we were on a multi-day hike and we had to walk out through peat marshlands and across multiple boulder fields. Why, equally, young and inexperienced partner read something about chilled champagne in your mouth when going down. We did not have champagne money. His alternative? Pouring a cold glass of water over my crotch. No discussion beforehand. Not a nice surprise. I was 15, maybe 16, I really had to pee, but she was into it, so my teenage mind insisted I hold it. I felt a release, which kinda felt good. Then I felt the warmth of my urine all on my midsection and realized that my release was me finally peeing. I lost all control of my bladder at that point and completely peed in her. She freaked and of course she got a UTI afterwards. I have a horrible memory but that shit sticks with me.